welcome everyone to the BSN Blockchain Academic Webinar Series. We have a great panel of guests today from Hong Kong Polytechnic University, University College London, and City University of Hong Kong. So excited to have a great panel today. I want to thank you all for tuning in. My name is Tim Bailey. I'm the Vice President of the International Business and Operations for Red Date Technology, looking after the BSN. So let me start today by introducing our panelists, or having them introduce themselves. And then we're going to go into blockchain technology and talk a little bit about what different universities are doing in the blockchain or Web3 space. So let me start with you, Professor Chow.
Sure. Thank you. My name is Christopher Chow. I am now the Vice President in charge of Research and Innovation at Hong Kong Polytechnic University. My main role in my university is to facilitate research development, taking care of the graduate school and the different research center and institutes. One major development in recent years is blockchain and the related technologies in fintech. So I have been witnessing the growth of our research strength in this particular area. And of course, at the same time, I learn a lot, even though my original research background is not in this area.
Great to have you here. Thank you. Professor Varghama?
Hi, Nikhil Varghama. So I'm a professor at University College London. I'm also Deputy Director of the UCL Centre for Blockchain Technologies, which is a interdisciplinary research centre at UCL, which comes out of the Department of Computer Science, but also engages, other departments in economics or law, very much recognizing the interdisciplinary nature of blockchain technology as it is. And we are a research center that focuses not only on academic research, but also building partnerships with industry, which we believe is very important. We also have two courses, master's courses that we offer, that were created under the leadership of the center itself, and I run one of them. So this is the Master's in Financial Technology, and we also have a Master's in Emerging Digital Technologies as well, which heavily features blockchain education. And then on the other side, we met many of the academics that are working at UCL also try and keep one foot in industry to keep more up to date. So we also run a technology foundation called the DLT Science Foundation, which specifically is mandated to improve ecosystems between academia and industry. And we do a lot of funding, internal research, run education programs and innovation programs ourselves, agnostic of blockchain technology, but supported currently by Hedera and Ripple as well. But this is something we do on the other side, where we try and do things with more of a practical manner, when perhaps outside of some of the constraints of the university environment itself.
Great to have you. Professor Chung?
Hello, everybody. And my name is David Chung, and I've been with the university for the computer science as well as Innovation Academy. So my major area of interest will be blockchain and also AI. And in my previous role, and I've been with the government, so I'm also interested in the regulatory environment to facilitate different technology innovation.
Great, thank you for joining, Professor Chung. So let me start with Professor Chow. Hong Kong Polytechnic has been ranked, the last couple of years as the #1 best universities for blockchain by CoinDesk. Can you tell us a little bit about how PolyU was able to achieve this? What type of work you're doing that gained you so much recognition?
Sure. PolyU's achievement can be attributed to a number of key factors, including our dedication to blockchain education, research, collaboration with industrial stakeholders, and also international engagement. Our commitment to blockchain education is a significant contributor to its success, in my view. We introduced the first Master of Science program in blockchain technology in Hong Kong in year 2022. The introduction of this master program, along with our doctoral and bachelor's degree program related to fintech and AI, demonstrates PolyU's effort to nurture a talent pool for the rapidly growing Web3 and fintech industry. This ensures that students achieve the necessary knowledge and skills to excel in the blockchain field. In terms of research excellence, the university has established the Research Center for Blockchain Technology, which is the first one in Hong Kong whose research covers full-stack blockchain technology. The Research Center draws expertise from various fields, including computer science, finance, logistics and maritime studies, and industrial and systems engineering, to carry out interdisciplinary research in blockchain. And our university scholars have also excelled in blockchain-related research with an impressive number of research publications and citations, surpassing other institutions listed in the ranking. Their contributions have been recognized through prestigious awards. For example, recently, our Professor Alan Au and Professor Daniel Law received the Bank of China Hong Kong Science and Technology Innovation Award in the FinTech category. And our members' active engagement with industrial stakeholders have resulted in many fruitful industry collaboration. We believe these collaborations are also crucial in achieving this milestone in ranking. Collaborative research projects with leading companies, including Sun Hung Kai Properties Limited, Huawei, Ant Group, Ethereum Foundation, Algorand Foundation, as well as Red-Days Technology, have allowed the university to bridge the gap between academia and practical application. This hands-on approach ensures that research findings are relevant and impactful in the real world. And the active participation of our faculty members in international institutions, forums, and expert groups has also facilitated knowledge dissemination and policy formulation in the blockchain domain. For example, the university's Policy Research Center for Innovation and Technology regularly gives recommendations for policymakers. As part of our recommendation to the 2023 Policy Edges in Hong Kong, we also recommend the use of blockchain to enhance the traditional Chinese medicines industry, for example. Another example is that our Professor Alan Au and Daniel Law's roles in the CBDC expert group of our Hong Kong monetary authorities further demonstrate their contributions to shaping blockchain-related policies and standards at an international level. So I think all these related to education, research, and engagement with industry, and also establishing international visibility, help us to establish the ranking in CoinDesk.
Okay, very good. So the industry partnership angle that you're talking about is very interesting, and it sounds like that's a common theme among many universities. Maybe Professor Vadgama, can you talk a little bit? Professor Chow talked about it, what he's doing here in Hong Kong. Maybe could you talk about it from a UK perspective and what types of industry partnerships you're working on?
Yeah, certainly. I think, industry partnership has been really vital for building and improving not only the research focus that we're doing at universities, but particularly the educational content and the delivery to students and the experience that they're getting as well of understanding Web3 and blockchain technology education. We've had a wide variety of kind of partnerships where it's been, you know, sometimes working with certain blockchain technologies who have been just interested in providing some grant funding simply because they want to expose students to their technology, perhaps as a means of kind of sponsoring and promoting their particular technology, to kind of other industry partnerships which have been much more about wanting to try and utilize our consulting and research expertise to improve particular aspects of their technology as well. And even we've had examples where people have come across, or technologies have come across, or projects have come across where they talk about, you know, co-building, for example, right? Where not only our research comes in, but we act as a particular, you know, equal partner even in the development of certain types of technology as they come through. And that's quite a lot on the kind of the commercial aspect, I suppose, or the research aspect. More specifically in kind of the educational remit itself, industry has been great for kind of supplying, you know, advice on curricular development, because, you know, guys in industry are the ones who are closest to what is up to date and up to the minute in terms of use case development and deployment, right? So they've got this great experience that they can encourage us on how to continuously refine our curricula so that we're educating students in a way that when they come out of our programs, they're going to be ready for going into these particular industries if they choose to do so, right? There's no point us teaching them, you know, highly specialized skills in blockchain, in Bitcoin, if the market's moved somewhere completely differently, you know, and everyone wants to basically understand EVM compatible chains, and that's where the demand is, right? So we need to keep up to date with that, and industry is great for that. Industry is also really good at coming in and guest lecturing, providing, you know, lab sessions. And one of the other areas that we work quite a lot with industry is in this kind of we do a summer project program where we encourage we basically, as part of our master's program, the last third of it is where a student goes off and produces a master's dissertation. And this typically can either be a research focused one, or it can be in partnership with industry. And here we encourage industry to come along to bring to UCL their particular problems that they have, right? And effectively we pair them up, someone in industry within that blockchain technology or project itself, where the student works with them and then also under the supervision of a UCL academic to try and solve that particular problem in the, you know, the 3-month period that they have to do their dissertation. So this is again a wonderful way of companies getting some exposure to students getting really in-depth understanding of the problems and working with the technology. And often is the case that this becomes a talent pipeline, right? This experience becomes something that can lead to opportunities for students afterwards, and certainly leads for companies themselves to better understand the capabilities of students. And again, goes around as a cycle, and then they come back to us and say, you should, you know, think about these things in curriculum, these are use cases, and so on and so forth that we're focused on. So these are just some of the ways of working with industry.
It'd be interesting to understand, you know, from all of you really, what types of problems you think the industry is encountering, and how students can help, or maybe some examples of industry problems. I you know, Professor Vadgama, if you know some specific examples, but also I'd throw open the question to any of you.
No, sure. I mean, I could give you some examples of previous projects we've had that focused on blockchain technologies in particular. So for example, we've had a lot of projects come to us to explore kind of tokenomics research, right? Thinking about, you know, how they can come up with different staking mechanisms, right? Rewarding mechanisms, how they could go about changing this, scenario modeling, risk modeling in these particular scenarios as well. One particular popular project, set of projects last year was around zero knowledge proof implementation on blockchain projects themselves. Other areas we've talked about, like what architecture, to even things like architecture for CBDC, right? It's a whole degree of a possible spectra where people, companies want to have some sort of input from students, because it's kind of a fresh thinking that comes in, right? It's kind of completely new perspective from a student coming in who has, learnt their particular theory, which is also interdisciplinary, because certainly at UCL, they're also studying other subjects in financial technology, artificial intelligence, right, IoT, or business and strategy, and so forth. And so when they come with that perspective, it's kind of nice for companies, because they get to see also from the student who's thinking completely outside of the box, which is sometimes different when in companies we can kind of get siloed with the same kind of thinking that we've had. But that's just kind of some spectrum. And really, honestly, it's anything and everything, right? That is there. But most popular recently has been things around zero knowledge proof development, bridges and connections between blockchain technologies, interoperability in particular. We've seen some continued interest in decentralized finance, DEXs, AMM design, and these kind of things. Some areas we're seeing good projects in.
Great. Professor Chung, let's talk a little bit about CityU. They have courses there focused on kind of blockchain, Web3, cryptocurrency. Can you tell us a little bit more about your offerings and what people are learning?
Yeah, I think we do have a lot of similar discussion, as training for blockchain technology. There are a lot of evolvement, a lot of new use case pop up every day. But I think the fundamental, we are teaching the student on the technical aspect, economic aspect, as well as the policy side of it, and give them a framework to work on, and then continue to let them to learn from the industry. I think that's so important. And our encouragement for students is for them to, through the training as well as practical exercise, to learn the latest great technology. And in particular, that we encourage students, even undergraduate students, to form groups, and then we do organize them through different seed program. Hopefully, they will work on a real project. At the same time, can be a foster the entrepreneurship spirit through this kind of training. And if they're good, and then we do provide this type of funding as well. So through this very I would say very fruitful program that will help the student to engage with the industry, as well as the resources from different institutions, such that they can not only work on technology side, but at the same time can be a real solutions to the market. I think that is important, especially our university is a relative newer establishment in Hong Kong region, but I think what we are good at is to train the entrepreneurship spirit for students, such that they can have their own driver to learn, as well as we foster the environment. Especially, we have already starting to partner with like Red Day Technology to provide such an environment for them to learn to use the basic blockchain platform, instead of they need to reinvent themselves, and then they can simply work on the use cases, work on the real application side of it, and then continue to evolve. I think that's important. And I think that as another important aspect is the Hong Kong and also the China relationship is so important, because the environment in China may be different from the rest of the world. And I think we can develop this gateway, or I would say the connectivity between different jurisdictions. And then we do have different consideration when we research on the CBDC or the e-currency as we are going to evolve. And right now the hottest topic is the stablecoin regulation establishment in Hong Kong. So again, this technological evolution as far as the policy catch up is always left behind, and then how we can foster the learning environment for the student is so important, and as well as the industry practitioner. So and then we can continue to work together with the industry partners such that we can co-create the environment together. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chung. I'd be interested in hearing a bit about what areas or fields your students are going into once they move on into the private sector. What types of application, what types of industries are they going into? Maybe Professor Chow?
Well, first of all, if we look at blockchain technology or related, fintech domains, I think it is a interdisciplinary area. I believe that the graduates require knowledge, for instance, in IT, in digital security, in regulatory compliance, finance, and economics. So talking about user scenarios, blockchain technology has a very wide range of application. They can go to construction industry. They can go to the financial sector. They can also go to insurance industry. I just want to name a few. So I believe that our students need to have some basic knowledge in blockchain. At the same time, they also need to communicate with the different stakeholders in that particular industry that they go into, so that they are able to apply what they learn from the university, and also to make good use of these knowledge in those domain areas. So I think the areas that our graduate and students can go into will keep on growing. It really depends on how blockchain will be used in the industry. So my thinking is that there will be a growth of the application area when we move on.
Okay. Professor Varghese, what do you see?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think, but by nature, our programs have contained a lot of finance knowledge. We've got the Masters in FinTech, and even the Emerging Digital Technologies one has some overlap in the financial services world. So we primarily see a lot of students want to go into finance, of course, right? And that is, less than before. When people are taking, FinTech degrees, for example, they want to go more into kind of the technology and operations aspects, rather than, previously would have been, I want to go into the front office or do trading and these kind of things. So definitely more about working with the operational logistics aspects there. And then we also see some, interested in consulting, but more and more actually over the years, we've seen students who really want to go out and try and do something themselves, right? And want to go out and be entrepreneurs, or go and work with earlier stage companies and take perhaps more risk with the initial kind of work that they want to engage in, rather than go down the traditional corporate path that we've seen. So we've seen students go and work with blockchain projects themselves. We've seen some students think about starting up their own particular blockchain projects. Some students also going into, fields like venture capital to get a different kind of exposure to working with this sector as well.
Good. One of the one hot topic I think here in Hong Kong is talent pool. in making sure that we have a robust talent pool for blockchain and kind of the general Web3 space. Professor Chung, what are you seeing maybe here in Hong Kong and maybe more broadly in the Asia Pacific region as far as the talent pool, and how big is it, and are people properly prepared?
Yeah, I think the overall the Hong Kong IT talent is lacking. No matter it's AI, blockchain, is even the biotech sector. So that's why I think the university play a role in developing talent. That's one side. The other, of course, the government has been implement various talent importing scheme to help to to make available for the industry. But again, the Web3 or technology, and there's no so-called perfect solutions. We do require talent in different skill set. No matter as on the the virtual asset side of it, on smart contract, understanding on the investment side, towards the low level hacking of information security. So there's a whole range of talent that we need to develop. So that's why I think overall, for Hong Kong, we need to bring in talent to help the industry. At the same time, we need to have more homegrown talent. So I think that will be a two-pronged approach to try to fulfill the requirement for the industry. And I think our government has been pouring a lot of money, especially the last couple of years, on the innovation technology sector, and that's why the industry itself is so hot. But again, is how we can work together to help the industry to fulfill the real requirement, and also to train up I would say, you can't have a one-size-fits-all strategy, but rather than we need to develop a specific skill set which the industry require. I think that is important. And again, we have a number of programs that we try to bring our talent, homegrown talent, to other a geographic region, such that they can expose themselves to learn in the Greater Bay Area, at the same time to different country, and try to expose themselves working with a lot of industry companies, such that they can learn and at the same time they can also develop themselves as through the entrepreneurship program. So I'm hopeful, but we definitely not enough talent in the region to help the industry to grow.
Professor Chow, do you see the same thing?
Yes, I agree with what David just mentioned. First of all, I think there is a talent shortage, not only in blockchain, but basically everywhere. And of course, in the area of blockchain, because of the very interdisciplinary nature, I think the shortage problem is pretty severe compared to other disciplines. And while we are trying to attract international talents to join the industry in Hong Kong, at the same time, I agree that we also need to train our own talents and to develop good educational program. And one very important element I think is crucial is how our educational program can integrate with our industrial stakeholders, because most of our professors are good in fundamental knowledge. However, when the students go out, most of them are working in the industry, or some of them may become entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, they are all targeting at serving the industry. And this is why I think allowing them to know more about what the industry is actually doing is very crucial. This is why many educational programs are now integrating more and more application element into the curriculum. I think that will be the right trend that we are moving on, and we like to see more of our students to go into industry to take up internship position, etc., or to carry out joint research projects together with industrial stakeholders. This is one way that I think can help us strengthen the talent market, and also to allow them to stay in this particular area rather than moving to other disciplines.
You know, I'd be interested in your views on content here, because one of the things that the BSN has been promoting is this concept of public IT systems. And, you know, Web3 is a very big category that involves a lot of different things. Certainly, cryptocurrency, you know, unregulated cryptocurrency falls under that bigger umbrella. But we have been, you know, pushing both in industry and university this concept of public IT systems or decentralized applications and networks. Professor Vadgama, from a UK perspective, from a UCL perspective, are you seeing more of a industry and academic interest in the cryptocurrency side of things, or more in the kind of practical, you know, what we think of as enterprise blockchain public IT systems?
I think from an academic perspective, there's always, I think, more interest in the theoretical than the practical, you know, and it kind of depends on which part of or which part of the university or the department you belong to. But usually, you know, a lot of people are, if you think about academia and the need to push and publish papers, you know, there's a lot of interest in just, you know, coming up with theoretical frameworks and so on and so forth to be able to get out research, to get that into other hands and to kind of produce research around that particular domain itself. But in other parts of the university, for example, in the business school, perhaps there is more focus on the practical aspect, on looking at case study generation, understanding, you know, looking at measures of decentralization and understanding how decentralized certain systems are and the benefits of decentralizing certain particular systems as well. I mean, here in the UK, we've with one of our initiatives called the UK Centre for Blockchain Technologies, we've started engaging with the UK government themselves about, and they asked a question, which was, how can they do more to be friendly to Web3? What does that really mean, right? And one of our responses was, if the government really wants to do more for Web3, the government itself should be doing some implementation of Web3 within its own particular systems that it has itself, right? And so we started, you know, a dialogue with them to say, you know, we've worked with you before on certain projects. For example, we did a pilot with them on the UK Land Registry in 2018, if I remember. But since then, nothing's happened, right? So can we try and push things forward? Can we have the support in order to implement certain decentralization in public IT systems, such that that will then drive, again, interest along with academics coming along to contribute, you know, looking at case studies of this developing, getting, you know, companies, blockchain projects interested in participating, and again, getting student interest active in this particular example as well.
Professor Chung, you're someone who's had you know, a career in the public sector with the government, and then also, you know, private sector, and now in the academic space. How do you, you know, same question to you around, you know, cryptocurrency and, you know, investments in education in that sphere versus, you know, this concept of public IT systems and decentralized applications? Where do you see things?
Yeah, I think the Hong Kong government especially has been investing in public IT system, especially based on blockchain for a couple of years now, and I think the so far the experience is very good, especially during the pandemic, and we can manage to use the blockchain system and then try to protect our personal data such that we can transfers with the Guangdong government, and that was one of the, I would say, best use case so far. And also a lot of different departments to implement blockchain-based systems, but we don't promote that because, again, I don't think we need to promote as such because your blockchain is like any other database, should be embedded within the systems itself. But from the academic side, I think more and more people are interested in the stables coin systems, especially right now we are doing a consultation on that, and then we'll be backed up by number of banks in Hong Kong. So I see the opportunity in that, and not very much on the cryptocurrency space, and because that was not, I would say that is kind of restricted in China, and Hong Kong. Only a small proportion of investors are interested in that kind of asset class, and then Hong Kong we do have. It's an international financial market, and we do have a lot of scam, and it's actually scared a lot of so-called investor in that particular instance. And we do have like a couple of those happening in recent days or recent months. So that's why the government is also stepping up to regulate in OTC, for example, for a lot of this platform, and now only 2 of the companies got so-called license for virtual asset, for example, and that will actually hurting the development of the cryptocurrency in Hong Kong. But again, that is as a technology we do see. Like in the internet ages, we do see a lot of company popping up here and there, and then when the dust settle, we do see whoever left behind will be playing a major role in that space, and government is already very clear to say that they do embrace the Web3, the blockchain space, and then that's why I think that with transparency of the regulations, that will help the industry to grow.
Great, thank you. So I have one final question for each of you. Same question, which is as each of you are leaders in your field in blockchain technology, if you were speaking to a student who was interested in getting into the blockchain and public IT system space, what would be your advice for those students? And I'll start with you, Professor Chow.
My advice is that first of all, students need to have the vision to see that in the future this area will be very, very important. You will be able to see blockchain be able to be embedded or being used in a number of different domains. So this is the most important part. And then they will put a passion into this area. And I think they also need to get to understand more about the real scenario, how to actually apply the knowledge into those areas, including not only computer science or IT knowledge, but I think the financial knowledge and also the regulatory framework. All these things are crucial for them to explore in order to be a all-rounded professionals or entrepreneurs in this particular field.
Good. Same question to you, Professor Varghese.
No, I think Partly it depends on location. I mean, we do a lot of programs with Peking University as well, where we teach Web3. I think the advice over there was, in China, wait, develop your talent and perhaps wait for the more Web3 aspects to develop there, or go to other parts within the region, go to Hong Kong, go to Singapore, these kind of places to cultivate, opportunities in Web3 if you're interested. In the UK, the advice is if you want to go for it, go for it. There's going to be loads and loads of opportunity. We're only very much at the beginning of still the development of decentralized systems and their implementation within our particular use cases that we see. So definitely consider it as a career path for you to go in, even if you were previously thinking of a standard career path to go into corporates and banking and this kind of thing. Working for a company within the blockchain space is absolutely a great career move to make. And the other thing I would say is don't be afraid to use everything that you have at your disposal to learn. And one of the big things we've seen really come along recently is just the use of AI as a technology for facilitating learning. And one of the things we've seen with some of our executive programs is by the end of the executive program we have with, business leaders who have no coding experience, is they are using, for example, ChatGPT and other large language models to code smart contracts, deploy dApps on blockchains, and actually be able to interact with them, which is something I would have thought was absolutely not possible before. But now you have, people with zero coding experience being engaged in actually what people consider the most technical and difficult part of the blockchain, the most esoteric part of it, but now actually having an ability to be able to play around and interact with it. And that, I think, itself will lead to, again, more opportunity, people gaining a deeper understanding of the technology, but particularly more use cases, and hopefully narrowing the talent pool because you've got more people able to really understand and learn the technology itself.
Professor Chung, same question.
Yeah, I think I think the two professors already kind of mentioned the environment, and I think in particular for Hong Kong, I think more and more when we have the the ECNY and also more and more the regulated stable coin available, then more and more students will be the user of a lot this technology themselves. Again, I think when the technology prevail, like the internet, you don't need to discuss whether you need to learn how to go online or you don't go online anymore. So I would say it will become a part of your life. So I can see blockchain will be eventually or will be gradually become one of the important tool set for a lot of executive or even general public to be used every day. So I think that will be will help to foster more and more curiosity for a student, such that they will equip themselves with such a skill set, and that will be important for our future generation.
Very good. Well, I want to thank all three of you, distinguished guests, for joining the webinar today. It was great to learn more about your ideas and the work that you're doing in your respective universities. So thank you again for joining, and we look forward to having each of you on a future episode. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye.